Two. And we're live. It is Camera Shop Talk with Inglewood Camera for April 3rd, 2020. The days don't matter anymore, guys.
It's Friday, right?
And as long as it's, just got to remember what day of the week it is. It is a Friday, everyone. And so we're here. I have two new faces on the chat for anyone who's tuning in. We've got Paul. Paul. We have two Pauls. All right. So this is going to get confusing for me, not everyone else. But we have Paul Gomez to my left or next to me up here, and he works at the camera shop. And then I've got Paul Wedlake, and he is below me, and he is a local Denver commercial photographer. Did I get that right?
Paul. You got that right.
Yep.
The important Paul.
Yes.
Not that you're not you're important too, Paul, since you're new here. But yeah, so we've got a whole new crew today. Mitch is going to join us at some point if we can figure it out. Right now, he's having internet issues. So I was going to tell him, hey, Mitch, you have to pay for the internet service. You can't just expect it. It's kind of funny.
That's
Mitch
right.
Mitch is the young one out of the whole crew, so maybe he hasn't figured out paying bills yet. I don't know.
Not on his own, anyway.
Not on his own.
Gotta learn how to steal it.
Yeah. So Paul, camera store Paul, what have you been up to? Since I haven't seen you besides like a video chat right now in a while. What do you do? What are you doing?
I've actually been staying busy. Before everything went down, I had 3 projects I shot, and then I had all the retouching stuff. So that took me like first 2 weeks into this. And then I did have another client that was able to get me some product. And so I shot that, did the retouching, delivered that yesterday. And so now I'm clean.
Now you're clean.
I'm clean.
You've washed.
I don't know what's going to happen now. So we'll see.
Sit back and relax and try to knock out all those beers that you have in your garage.
I'm trying.
He's got a few.
Yeah.
I've got a few. I've been hoarding for like 5 years for this.
I'm so prepared. and then other Paul Wedlake, what have you been up to while all this is going down?
So I was pretty busy up until everything melted down. So about 2 days ago, I wrapped up the last of my production. I was shooting some solar fields with the drone. I still have a couple things that might come in with production wise, and a couple did an editorial shoot the other day. It was pretty funny because it was already kind of in the lockdown, and it was an interview situation a little bit like this, and I had like the 2 people standing in the middle of like a very empty street, and I was on top of my van about 20 feet away. It made for a pretty interesting photo. The people were pretty small, and they were like, talking and laughing, but this, so it was a very interesting shoot for the times.
Sure.
Yeah. I think did you post that on your Instagram?
I did. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I followed you on Instagram. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just gonna pull it up here so I have it ready to go. Oh, that's an interesting photo. Yeah, we'll show that in a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, a couple other things too. I kind of like traveling around the Eastern Plains, photographing Dust Bowl houses and stuff. So I actually found a couple new ones, and I posted those too. So
sure.
yeah, I think trying to stay busy and also try to be respectful. This is the way we have to live for who knows how long, but yeah, the cool thing is with photography, I having the drone, that will be a good creative outlet. I kind of been flying that around quite a bit more without even leaving my yard. So
right. I tried getting my friend Nick, who works with me at the Rockies and has a nice drone. He lives at 27th and Blake, I believe. He'd kill me if I told people his like cross streets, man. I'm on a hit list now. But and I live at like 33rd in Downing, which is about a mile, maybe.
Oh, wow. Right.
And I keep telling him we need to do like messages back and forth via drone. He can fly his drone to my house, land it in my backyard. I'll take the note and I will attach a note, and he can fly back to his house.
There you go.
I don't know if the range on his drone, it's got like a Mavic Pro 2 or something like that. I'm not sure what the range on those things is.
Right. Well, that's pretty good distance for like being in the city.
Right. I mean, we haven't done it yet. So
yeah, that's the modern day carrier pigeon.
Exactly. Yeah. Kill all the other pigeons while it's at it, you know, or the pigeons will knock it out of the sky and both things will go down, you know? So, I was looking, I have like 10 power lines crossing my backyard. There's no way that thing was going to land, you know, safely. So,
right.
But drone photography, you're the first person on the camera shop talk that we've had really talk about drones. And so I have your website up here. Let's take a look at some of your drone work. And then what kind of drone do you have?
Phantom 4 Pro is
cool.
what And I got a 3 also, and I've been kind of using that for starting to experiment like with a little bit of drone light painting.
Sure.
So
really?
I think I'll use that one because if it crashes at this point, it's all good.
Right. I'm gonna take our logo off so you're not blocked by the logo. If it was me or Paul, I wouldn't care. But and so let's look at this. Let's start with this because it's bittersweet today. But today was going to be opening day for the Rockies, and so this is a nice. You see so many shots of Coors Field by drone now, but this seems like you might have been one of the first ones to do it because it's got a little. It's not the new scoreboard, but I do like the light on the buildings, and it's not over processed. I feel like drone photographers a lot like just pull a clarity slider to like 100.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
But I like this. I like this shot. Of course, I'm biased. So let's see. Solar fields. You said you were shooting solar fields. Solar fields are pretty interesting. Does it get too hot for the drone up there, or?
Not really. No. This one was like on the California border, and it was massive.
Right.
This is actually, I think basically the first solar job I had, and it wasn't even my drone. And the funny thing is, we came home from this trip and had a really nice case for the drone, and flying through LA, TSA, inspected it, and then got home to Denver, and the camera was like literally ripped right off. It was a Phantom 2. It was literally ripped right off the drone. It was in a really nice case. So, it was like totally malicious destruction. So I actually still have that drone, and I kind of have it just to mess around with, but
sure.
Doesn't have a camera on it. But so basically it's just a payload drone.
Nice. Let's see. Let me know if there's any specific shots that you want me to show people. I like this. Is pretty neat.
Yeah. So this was definitely my biggest drone job. When they finished Highway 36, I basically flew the drone all the way from that Coors Field shot was the very first, at the very first end of the spectrum. Right. Then I flew it all the way up to Boulder, and it took probably about 10 days because I'd basically stop along the highway, do a flight, and then I'd do 2 or 3 of those and keep heading north up to Boulder. So
oh wow, so you were combining footage into like one kind of smooth take up to Boulder?
Actually, I was they had 2 people, and it's kind of funny. They had a guy who was doing video out of a helicopter, and I was the drone guy doing stills. So
okay.
And we actually kind of, swapped out. So we both did stills and video, but I kind of did more stills than he did. And the drone was actually a little bit nicer because I could, my flight deck was quite a bit lower than the helicopter.
Right.
So
that's neat. How did you get into drone photography, like for architecture and buildings and stuff like that?
Okay, well, so going back to that one solar field shot, my neighbor had one, and he didn't really know how to use it, and he didn't really understand photography.
Mm-hmm.
So he's worked for like electrical contractor. So we kind of figured it out together. And then I was on a family vacation in Arizona. So then I kind of met him, and we went out to this solar site, and we basically were able to get this. We had this is really kind of back in the early days, and we kind of rigged up an antenna. We climbed up a low mountain, and this is actually probably a stitch of like 3 or 4 images.
Oh, cool. So,
so it's kind of, when we first started, it was a little bit, just figuring it out. And so that was like the start, and it was a little rough to be sure. But,
sure.
Now that, if you're do a lot of drone photography or?
Me, I don't own a drone, so okay. I'm super interested in it, but
yeah.
Hold on, before we go any further, we have a special guest to add to the chat. It's Mitch.
Hey,
Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey,
other Paul.
Oh, both Pauls.
Two
yeah,
Pauls.
we got 2 Pauls.
Yeah, 2 Pauls in the middle.
One Mitch.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
Mitch, you were having internet issues. Did you have to call like Excel and say, "Hey, here's $20," and
No,
we were giving you a hard time. We thought maybe you didn't pay the bill.
I did what I just went to the wall and I pulled the plug.
You pulled the plug,
and then very complicated. I plugged it back in.
Plugged it back in.
That often works.
That's like every kind of tech issue you have. It's like this thing isn't working, so and so isn't working, and someone's like, "Did you try plugging it in, plugging it out,
turn it off and on again?"
Yeah, and that usually fixes it.
Yeah.
Specifically, like card readers and internet at the camera shop in general.
Yeah. So
this is
anyway,
cool. Is this a panoramic?
Mitch, have you met Paul?
I don't
Mitch?
think I don't know.
No, I don't think. I don't think we met.
Okay.
Paul.
Well, Mitch, meet Paul. Paul.
Mitch.
Mitch.
Paul. There we go.
How are you? Are you? Well, gosh, I'm guessing. I'm just looking at some aerial panoramic photography here, which is pretty cool. So
yeah,
we're talking about drone photography right now.
Oh, I see. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that.
It's pretty sweet. And then, so are a lot of your photos, Paul, stitches then?
Quite a few of them. Yeah. It's, I kind of got into the whole panoramic thing.
Sure.
Was, on the ground, I started getting a few websites that were requesting, that big long banner across the top. So
yeah.
I started playing around with that quite a bit. And did, really a few big jobs, like one, RTD is a big client of mine, and they use a lot of that type of kind of banner type photo for their website. And
sure.
And then,
they're really, really well done.
Thanks.
So I got a question though, as far as like stitching with drones. How do you?
Oh man, it's so easy.
I've never done a drone, so how do you do a stitch when the camera's up in the air?
So basically, it's really easy. So you can basically have 2 toggles. The one on the left, you just have to. This is reversed, but you just kind of tweak it left, a little bit, and they're so stable. They hold their position really well. You just kind of sweep back and forth, and
okay.
That would be your yaw control.
Yeah,
Any
yeah,
aviators out there?
yeah.
There's only yawn control in mine.
That's true.
That's sweet. I love. There's a really cool basketball court over here in 5 Points that I would love to take a picture with the drone. Someone painted a basketball court a bunch of different colors.
Oh, cool.
The artist's name is Detour. And it's like just like they spilled a bunch of different buckets, colors of paint, and they splash around. And then there's a clothing brand called Be a Good Person, who is it's a company owned by another photographer friend of mine. And there's a cool. I already saw a shot, but like they did the perfect time of day where like they had basketball players running up and down the court with shadows and stuff like that. And so this reminded me of one of those kind of shots. This shot.
So speaking of like stitching these together, this is like, I think about this all the time. I love drones. I love them. But have you ever done any panos where you've just pointed the camera straight down and then moved forward, theoretically as far as you want to go?
Yeah. And they actually turn out pretty well too. One of my favorite type of panos is if you just have your drone sitting there and you take a shot straight forward and then you pan down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the shot where you're looking straight down and straight out. And it's just a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I've during this downtime, I've been thinking, with hopefully the weather, getting a lot nicer this next week, but this to get out there and just start shooting with the drone quite a bit more.
That'd be sweet.
You just need an extended range one. I mean, you just take it off right from home.
I know. Well, I do have
break every law,
like a
every line of sight
worker. So yeah, I don't know if it's legit if nobody's really hiring me to do it, but the thing with the drone too, I can basically fly it right from my car too, so I'm not really impacting anybody.
Which one do you use?
Phantom 4 Pro.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's
does it come with its own camera, or do you put a camera on it?
It comes with its own.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know nothing about drones, so I'm excited to learn about these. I've always been wanting to buy like a cheap drone that I won't feel bad about crashing.
Well, that one that he has is basically like an RX 100.
Okay.
Flies.
Oh, sweet. So it's got a 1-inch sensor.
Yeah.
It's a good way to go. I've had 3 or 4 crashes, and nothing too horrible. But
have you tried those quieter rotors?
I have, yeah.
Do you notice a bit of a difference with that, or?
It is quieter, but I notice like when I descend, if I descend fast, it gets pretty wobbly.
Mm.
But so I haven't really used it too much.
Going through here.
I just launched this website a couple weeks ago because
Sure.
I don't know. Right now, drone photography is my favorite type of photography. It's just awesome to get up in the air, and you have that 3D movement. You can basically go anywhere, and it's really nice to.
Yeah.
I like these big solar fields.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's up by Fort Collins. So the reason I like that photo is it's kind of like that's a coal plant in the background, and so basically all the solar is making that obsolete, and they took it offline.
Oh wow! So
did they really?
Surrounded it by solar energy. Interesting.
Yeah. So you kind of have the new and the old in that shot.
Yeah, that's funny. That's cool.
That's the that one's was Zeppelin Station.
I forgot the name of it. Yeah. I think you're right though.
It might be Zeppelin Station. That's like right near my house. So,
now, Paul, you also do a lot of corporate headshots, right?
Oh, a ton. I mean, that's my bread and butter for sure.
I was gonna say that's what I thought.
I know we were looking at your other Your other side. Let me change. I have to change different screens here. Oh, look, it works with 4 people. It's crazy. We had no idea. This is what happens when you pay for things. Paul, are you using Photo Shelter?
Yeah, yep.
I use Photo Shelter too. Good people over at Photo Shelter.
Yeah, definitely. So this is typically how I make my living is corporate and a little bit of editorial mixed in.
Did you go all the way to Vegas to shoot? You had to. That's in the neon.
Yeah, Paul and I actually went to Vegas together. You didn't go on that shoot, did you?
I didn't go on this shoot. No,
Okay.
I went on another one with you though.
Yeah, so this one was really interesting. They have a museum with all the old signage, and we had about I think they gave us like a half an hour to shoot, and we went out there and knocked off a bunch of different shots. So
cool. I like it. I'm from Las Vegas, so I love the neon graveyard. It's
it's awesome.
There was one that I really liked. I like this welding one. Is really neat.
That's really cool.
And then there's some more dronage here. Is that drone or no?
No, that's up on a parking deck.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Can we make dronage a word?
Dronage. It is now.
So yeah.
Kind of environmental portraits are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I went on the shoot with you on that one where that guy was jumping.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What's up with this one? Is this like pre-COVID?
Right. No, that was an RTD shoot, and it's actually a really pretty fun app. It's like a game. It's called Dumb Ways to Die.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a whole safety message campaign.
Sure.
And then so this was those characters were based in Australia. So to launch it, they're like, oh, the Dumb Way to Die guys are coming, in Denver, and so we basically picked it up at the airport, and so it was a pretty crazy shoot.
That's such a interesting campaign. Dumb Ways to Die.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I love this shot of the Dale's Pale Ale guy. It must be
Dale. Yeah.
Is that Dale?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
What are you?
I shot him twice, and the first time I shot him, it was right when he was first getting started, and shot it like on film. So, and he was it was kind of a fun shoot. He was up on his bus, and and it turned out really well. And I'm like, boy, I kind of wish I could find that film. And
Do you have a lot of film just laying around? I was going through film today, trying to find these shots I took at Coors Field, and I got lucky, and it was like the first envelope I checked. But if it wasn't, I was going to be searching for a long time.
Yeah, no, I got it. Got them all over the place.
Let's see. I went backwards by accident, and then I like this race car driver. Is that drifting?
Oh,
is this drifting or just racing cars?
This racing.
Racing.
So I'm spacing out her name, but she is one of the unsers. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we shot that out east in the plains of Colorado.
Cool.
And we didn't have much time to do portraits and stuff, but
right. Found a good puddle that would go into a reflections contest for sure.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was such a tiny little puddle too. So, oh wait, yeah, that one, Paul. That background. You and I worked on that one together.
Right, we did.
And then cool.
But so this guy right here, or if you go back the other way.
I swear I've seen that farm or ranch photo before.
Oh yeah, I got an interesting job photographing ranchers and farmers of Boulder County. So it's really been some of the funnest work I've ever done. I mean, this guy was just sitting here telling me about the good old days, in the 1950s, and this really every one of these guys has a really interesting story.
You wanted me to go back? Was it the bus guy?
Past the bus guy. This is yeah, the attorney there. That's typically how I make my bread and butter. I kind of do all these environmental shoots with like professionals and
Sure.
take them all over the city. But I guess if it's like anything I'm known for, it would be that. Which I guess
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
oh, what's that?
I've helped Paul shoot several of these shots, and it's amazing the little tiny spots he finds within like Denver and these backdrops, and he just makes them look really good, really cool.
Yeah, it's just having that like a long lens and isolating like a couple cool little elements, and yeah. So I'm actually shooting, this point where I'm shooting so many of those. I feel like almost like a senior portrait photographer, but with more on the corporate level.
Right, people who aren't spending their parents' money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For sure. Sweet. Are you gonna let's see, we've got what, another, I don't know, does anyone really know how many days we have left in shelter in place, or whatever we're doing right now?
I mean,
It's
I
going
think
till
it's
the
going
end
to
of
the
the month.
30th. Yeah,
30th
of
It's going to
April.
May.
It's going to May now.
I bet it goes later than May.
You bet it, you want to sweep? I don't know.
Well, there's been no good news.
That's true. There has been
I know.
They're like it's only gonna go away now, but like every day they're like, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And so like there's no like real end in sight at the moment. But
as a photographer, I mean, what are you gonna do? What, we could take a poll right here, all four of us, but like, what are you guys gonna do in the next 30 days to like, pass the time? Or I keep seeing these memes that say, if you don't come out of here with a new,
oh yeah,
if you don't come in here knowing how to do something new, or a new talent, or a new way to, hustle and make an extra couple bucks, like you wasted your time in shelter in place. But like, what is there to do? What are you guys gonna do?
Paul Gomez,
Yeah.
has probably the best setup for staying home and taking pictures, because
You've got a studio in your
you could
garage.
go macro
I do.
crazy with all kinds of weird stuff to make look cool. So you should just start just like throwing a bunch of stuff like literally at the wall and taking pictures of it hitting the wall.
I should. Well, speaking of that, I do want to. I've actually right in front of me here. I've got a little setup. I want to start playing with like more splash photography.
Do you have one of those trigger things?
I don't yet, so I that's what I got to figure out.
Well, order it from Amazon. I'll deliver it to you.
Okay, right on. Yeah, no. So I need to get trigger. I just need to figure out, lighting and just kind of how to do it, because I haven't played with splash photography as much as I'd like. So that's kind of what I'm gonna spend my time doing.
Sure.
Maybe coming up with some more conceptual type of images. Most of the stuff I shoot is e-commerce on product on light. So I definitely like to get some more conceptual shots.
Well,
in my portfolio, with
your raving success with your last conceptual image.
Right? I know. Although I'm gonna get something in focus this time.
we had a contest at the camera shop. It was an employee contest, and you had to shoot on film. And Paul gave us this photo, and you couldn't really tell what it was of, because, to be honest, what was it? What was the picture of, Paul? Was it a grass in front of your house?
No, so it was in my yard. We have this. So my neighbors have this old sunflower stalk that's just been kind of decrepit over the whole winter. And so I was shooting with a Holga, and I double exposed it, so it had just snowed. So I did one exposure with the snow, just basically just a full frame with snow, and then I did another one where I was hoping to get that stock more in focus because it had some frost on it and it was backlit, but it ended up being blurry.
You had big plans for this piece of flower, and and all you had was a Holga. So
yes,
that's a bold move.
So nothing was in focus, but it was kind of
made the wall
away. I don't know.
Well, okay. At first when I saw it, I was like, "Did you just like not even try? You're just like, that's what I got," But then it like it ended up being the one that I liked the most, to be honest.
Yeah.
because you look at it the longest, you'd be like, well,
We have a comment from a viewer. Ashlyn says that she's gonna work on macro photos of her dog's various disgusting bones.
That'd be cool
that's
though.
a good idea.
Yeah.
What if you did like
structures in there?
Yeah, our house dog has it. Here's one right here. Hold on. Look at this thing. Look at it.
Oh, whoa.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
It's
actually.
pretty neat. We had
That's
one that
actually a good photo right there.
yeah, boom, take it, hang it in the loo. Yeah, this was it's got like bone marrow in it or something. There's a lot of stuff in these bones. This was still got, what is this? This has fur on it still. There's still animal.
You should probably wash your hands.
Oh my God.
Listen, there is worse stuff going on in the world right now than what's on our dog's bone.
That could be bat bones, you know. So
Bat bones. Well, I don't know. As long as they're not sticking them in my mouth, I'm fine. You know. But yeah, she says exactly. So yeah, dog bone macro photography. You could get in. You don't have a dog though, Paul. You have a cat.
I do have a cat.
Do you have like a cat? You could take macro photos of high-end catnip. You could be a catnip dealer.
I could.
Like,
Maybe
Actually,
that would lead me more into the cannabis genre.
yeah.
You know.
You can see a cat tree off my shoulder
Yeah.
there. I have a cat client actually right in Inglewood off Dartmouth. Precious cat, Dr. Elsie's precious cat. They do like a lot of food and kitty litter, and so I end up having all this cat product, and so finally we just got a cat, and we're like, well,
perfect. Yeah.
now the cat is like their social media cat, and if on Amazon too, I've been taking a lot of lifestyle photos of her with all the different boxes of stuff for Amazon. So now she's like this lifestyle model, and we took her to the vet, and they're like, "Oh man, she's pretty fat." And I'm like, "Oh no!" Like
she's
supposed to be like,
you need to have a fit cat to.
I know. I'm like, how do you get like,
threaten her, say, I'm going to find another cat model if you don't,
Yeah. So basically, this is a bunch of products. So I had to shoot her with all these cans.
Well, that's the problem. She's got all this food at her disposal.
Yeah, it's good stuff too.
Well, so if any kids are watching, or people that have a family member that won't let them get an animal, just buy all the stuff
right
that you would use for that animal, and then it'll just happen.
Photograph it for a hot second. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to get.
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, going back to what we were gonna do. What are you gonna do, Mitch?
What am I gonna do? I know
you're driving for Amazon now, but in your free time, you got to do something with photography.
I don't know. That this is a job. I'm like gonna go to bed in an hour. So and I wake up at like 3:50.
Oh yuck!
Oh, wow.
And then it takes me like an hour to get like ready, because there's no it's like bam, hurry up and go. And there was no training for this. I had like a Russian guy, very thick Russian accent, was like,
I was gonna do a really bad Russian accent just now, but I just stopped myself. You're welcome.
he was like showing me this little app thing that we use. We don't use our own phones. We use one of their like really beat up, like clearly it's been just like run over a million times, like some mobile device, and it works about 40% of the time. And then I got there, they're like, yeah, we're going to do ride-alongs, and because of the virus, nobody can be in a car with each other, so good luck. And I was like, oh, what?
Oh, wow.
so and then I get to this like loading area, and there's like millions of packages. It's literally like a scene from like Star Wars or something, everybody getting ready and loading all their stuff up and getting ready to go, and this guy's like, okay, this is machine, you press this and you go and you get in the truck and you take off, you sign in this thing, this is how you load it. Okay, good luck, have fun. And I was just like,
oh wow.
I don't know. I used to wonder like how Amazon works, right? With like the 2-day delivery thing. I'm like, how would that? I don't really even think Amazon knows how Amazon works, because I don't know still, and I somehow got the job done.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I still can't really like say I know what I'm doing. So
You're
it's like
drop those packages off. Son.
yeah. It also probably looked weird when I just got home because there were 3 packages in one of those locker things at our
Mhm.
apartment complex, and I was still wearing like my Amazon stuff, and so and there's a guy next to me, and I go to the thing, and I open it up, and I take a bunch of packages out and leave, but I'm like an Amazon guy. So I was like, I bet that looks a little weird, but
Do you get free Amazon now?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm pretty much counting the days until the store opens up because I have to be
Here we go.
gone.
We're all counting the days, you know?
Yeah.
So, and last but not least, Paul, what are you gonna do?
Well, so maybe some drone photography.
Yeah.
Might take a couple more trips into the Eastern Plains to do some photography out there. I've pitched a couple ideas that I'm hoping might come through. One is like drone photography at solar sites out of state, and I'm like, it's cheap travel, man. I'll drive there and camp in my van and go from site to site and knock them out. Another thing I've been doing is like these 360 tour things for some clients, and so I just kind of figured it out today, and I uploaded a bunch of photos for. It's basically a street view, but inside, businesses and offices. So I got enough photos up today that I became a preferred vendor, but I had a couple clients I wanted to pitch that to. I'm like, hey, nobody's around. It'd be a great time to, knock these out. So my plan is to shoot a couple samples and, then go forward and maybe, because I'm just trying to stay creative.
Stay creative, stay busy.
Yeah, switch it up,
I've got an idea. Also super jealous that you have a camper van, but
no, it's a minivan. It's not a camper van.
Well,
I yanked the seats out and called it a camper van.
There you go. But I was thinking somebody, I don't know who came in the store. So we have one customer who's really loves shooting trains. I think we have 2 that love shooting trains.
Right on.
Forget his name, but with the drone, depending on how long the train is, and I know the battery is pretty good on the Phantom 4, but if you could literally like car for car stitch a whole pano of a train, but without turning, so you get the weird distortion. You literally not walked it, but literally just moved laterally over like 12 feet each shot, and then stitched all those together. I wonder how that would look.
Yeah, that would be.
You could probably apply that to RTD.
What the aspect ratio on that would be?
Yeah.
But that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, you could apply that to RTD there, Paul.
I know. I've done a couple things like that, like along a city block. But this is actually predates the drone, and so I basically rigged my camera like way up on a boom and attached that to my car and drove down the street and took photos. Just because they wanted that, backdrop for a, and not having distortion. So, it turned out pretty good. Now it'd be a lot easier to do with the drone.
Yeah.
It's a good idea with the car, actually.
Yeah.
Put it on top of your Amazon truck there, Mitch.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the thing with like architecture shooting and stuff right now is, there's no cars to get in the way, or there's no people around. So, if you are an architecture shooter and you can get out there, this would be like.
Yeah, we were walking around Rhino in North Denver and in 5 Points, and there's a lot of they do the Crush Street Art Festival out here every August, September, and my roommate walked down there, and then my girlfriend and I walked down there a couple days ago, and there's like no cars in front of all these great murals, and you don't have to worry about like missing the bottom halves. We're trying to say like, is there all this new art in Denver while everyone's staying inside? We're like, no, there's no cars blocking it.
Right.
So it's perfect time to lie to the police and say that this is your normal walk run path when you're literally just taking pictures of the street art with no cars in front of it. So I just endorsed lying to the police, but whatever. We have a police officer as a customer. He coming back.
Trent is like my favorite customer. I think Trent is so cool. Trent,
I tried to get him
you
to
watch
arrest
this,
Matthew.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Come in and arrest one of our employees in the middle of his shift would have been hilarious. So, Matthew's watching this right now. Watch your back, bro. So cool. Well, I've got to go to a virtual happy hour, boys.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me
Pleasure.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
Paul, it's always great to see you.
Paul Wedlake, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time and thanks for sharing all your drone photography with us. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Those are
Yeah,
really
I'm
cool
hoping to do
images.
more. I'm, hoping to kick that up a level here. Maybe I'll learn some new tricks during this whole epidemic.
Right.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It's your favorite friend,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
For sure. Awesome. This has been Camera Shop Talk for April 3rd. Thanks. Ashlyn says, great show, peeps.
Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, Ashlyn. Thanks for watching. Tell all your friends. You're gonna sign off. I have a problem signing off. If you haven't noticed in the last week and a half of sign-offs, it's just like another minute and a half of me trying to say goodbye. But we're gonna go. This has been Camera Shop Talk for April 3rd, 2020, and we'll be back on Monday with a guest. Next week we have the Broncos team photographer jumping on, Gabriel, and then we have Mark Morris from Tamron. He's gonna jump on Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And which is 2 days after I believe they're announcing a new lens for Sony. So something we can talk about.
Right on.
Cool. Sweet. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week.
All right.